Prime Minister, you've announced billions of dollars in spending in the last couple of months, and economists are saying that that has led in part to the Reserve Bank lifting interest rates last week. Do you take any responsibility for that interest rate rise?
Well, the Treasury themselves have disputed that outright at Senate estimates, as you know. And as the Reserve Bank Governor has also said, David, the Reserve Bank Governor himself has said that what has been driving their decision to take rates from 0.1%, let's recall, in the United Kingdom, they're up at 1%. They've gone up 90 basis points. In New Zealand, they've gone up 125 basis points. In the United States and Canada, they've gone up 75 basis points. What has happened is Australia, because the Australian economy is leading the world out of advanced economies all around the world right now, we've got more downward pressure on interest rates in those economies and more downward pressure on the rising costs of living compared to other countries around the world. And that's because our economic plan is getting people into work, giving people confidence, businesses are investing, businesses are getting back on their feet. Now, you can't take that for granted. If you take down that shield that we have put up through our economic policies over the course of these last 2 and 3 years,
but are you saying interest rate rises are global factors? Australia will be at risk of even higher interest rate rises and even greater pressures on the cost of living. Sorry, I'm saying, are you saying that interest rate rises are due to global factors and really it's out of your hands? It's not your job to keep the rates lower.
No, what I'm saying is that global factors, of course, have driven the Reserve Bank's decision to lift interest rates. But in addition to that, it has been the success of the Australian economy, which means that in the same way we brought to an end JobKeeper, the Reserve Bank is saying the Australian economy is getting back on its feet again. And Australians themselves have been doubling down on preparing for that time. We've had double the number of people who've gone and ensured they've moved from variable rates to fixed rates. We've also seen Australians get further ahead of their mortgages during the pandemic. They've doubled the buffer that they've had over the course of the last 2 years.
Prime Minister, that was an additional question. David Crowe, you have one for the opposition leader?
Mr Albanese, you've backed in pretty much all of this spending and in fact you've offered some more spending of your own. So where in your economic plan is there any measure that would actually keep interest rates lower?
Because the priority that we've had in terms of our investments have been in areas which will grow productivity, which will grow the economy in a way that doesn't put pressure on inflation. Take, for example, childcare, and it's one of the reasons why our childcare plan has been backed in so strongly by the business community. Our childcare plan to assist 96% of families will be better off, 4% the same. Will lift productivity. It will increase women's workforce participation.
But that would take so long to arrive. I mean, are you basically powerless now to do anything when the Reserve Bank is talking about rates going to 2.5%?
What we have done is to make sure that in all of the areas where we've prioritised investment, they are in areas that will grow the economy. Now, Scott said last year that petrol prices and interest rates would go up under us. The truth is they've gone up under them. And the Reserve Bank have foreshadowed further increases this year. What we understand is that we need to address structural issues that address cost of living pressures
Mr. Albanese, that is your time.
because of the pressure that will be on families right now.